Hi everyone, this is Shelly Dressel again, and I have a ULB Mini. So, it's been a few days since I've channeled the Universal Light Beings for one of these little short sessions, and in that time I've had 2 or 3 different thoughts that have come to mind. So, you may see things kind of clearly. If you're listening to these, if you enjoy them, throw me an email, let me know something that you'd like me to chat about. But today, one of the things that keeps coming up is about food and eating and density and crystalline and carbon and just all those different things. So I think Brysentia is the one that's going to come through and speak about this. And I, for one, am just curious to hear about these changes. Greetings. It is I, Brysentia. I come to speak with you at this time about this topic because I have lived in multiple different vibrations, you could say, multiple different physicalities. There's a beautiful bird speaking in the background, and you may hear the message from the bird. One of the things I'm going off on a tangent here, but be aware of what's around you. It may be birds, it may be other critters, it may be other animals that come up that are there for you, giving you short little messages perhaps, or reminding you to come back into the moment. But anyway, when you think about the beings that live inside the earth in the crystalline cities, how do they live there? What are they like? Well, they have a higher frequency, because the vibration that is within that part of the planet is a very high light frequency. It tends to be about the 7th dimension or higher. So consider where you are. You've been in the 3rd dimension for many hundreds of years, if not thousands of years, probably thousands of years. And you've been slowly, gradually taking your way up and up and up into a higher frequency. A dimension consists of a vibration and then the frequency that comes out of that vibration. It may sound like I'm splitting hairs a little bit, but it's 2 different ways of looking at something that's probably pretty similar. You can go to different parts of the planet and they have a very high vibration, even though surrounded in a certain way by lower vibrations and lower frequencies. So what we talk about then when we go to the inner earth and we talk about the crystal cities, they're talking about something that is able to maintain that high light frequency so as to vibrate at the higher frequency. What are these people? Well, they do have a physical presence, and within that physical presence, that means skin, bones, breathing, digestion, all of these different things that make up you as the human that you are. Most are taller than you are. They tend to be about that 7-foot range up to 10 feet. And within that different height, it's easier to maintain that higher height because they're able to vibrate again at that different frequency. They do eat food. They do have animals. They do have a different communication that is interacting between them and the animals and the different beings that make up the presence of where they are. Most are vegetarian. Those that are not have a particular ritual or have a particular experience so that there is a relationship that goes on between whatever meat they might be consuming and whatever else their experience might be. So that means that the bone density that they have is quite translucent compared to the bone density you have. That means that their organs, their skin, their tissues, everything is a different experience, you could say, than what yours are. Even though on the surface they may look the same as you but taller, it is that higher frequency that literally emanates a light. It emanates different colors. It emanates different vibration and frequency. So when you consider the many different ways that people have talked about ascension symptoms in your everyday reality, it's oftentimes been about the digestive tract. It's frequently been about breathing It's been about the way in which you feel your body. Some people have a great deal of pain. You might feel it in your joints. You might feel it in your abdomen. You might feel it in, different ways as you transcend. So they do call it a carbon foundation for what your body is made up as it is right now. And as you integrate more light into that carbon foundation, it will transition into something that is more crystalline. So you may say, well, what is a crystalline body? Right now, your crystalline bodies are those non-physical energy bodies that are around you. Those are also your light bodies. And that is now going to be integrated within you so that you will be able to have that light and that non-physical energy as more so a part of your physicality. So what will that do for you? It will make your bones feel different. It will make your body feel different. It will cause your organs to transition, whatever it is, be it breathing in your lungs, your heart beating, the blood that goes through you. So the literal blood that is within you will transition as, number one, you are activating your DNA, and then number two, this activation of your DNA is bringing in more and more of the light frequency. So all of these things are coming together. This is not something that's going to happen in a day, a week, or a month. This is something that will happen over about 40 to 50 to 100 years. And you have already been going through that process for probably about 30 or 40 years. That being said, the more that the light energy is present on the earth, the less you have the third dimensional energy on the earth. It begins to speed up and become a very rapid process. Will some of you be able to just transition into your light body, your light being, and just, emanate that light? Absolutely. Will you be able to do it in your meditations or when you go into a particular state of transition? Absolutely. Will you be able to just be walking along the road and transition into that? Not in the very near future. And the reason for that is because there you're impacted by all of the things that are around you. And even if you disconnect from everything and go straight into that energy field, it would just take a lot of practice, and it would take an ability to completely disconnect from whatever's around you. So how does the crystalline bodies look, your crystalline physicality look as you are moving forward? Well, it's going to be a more translucent energy in your physicality as that becomes a part of your physical organs and your bloodstream. Then it's just going to shift the vibration so that people will look differently. The more people that are in the higher frequency, the easier it is to have more people move into the light frequency. And this is something that, again, is all of it's going to just speed up and speed up. So what can you expect as the crystalline vibration or frequency becomes a part of your physical experience? Is that eventually you will get to a point where your muscles and organs move and work and function in a different way that is much quicker. It's much more speeded up. The weight that people carry will just dissolve because you will not need as much weight. The foods that you decide to eat will probably transition. Not saying you have to go all vegetarian, all this or all that, or all fruitarian or whatever it is. Throughout our beliefs and throughout our reality, meaning the universal beings, Shelly, etc., it's always been that you should eat what you are drawn to eat because there's a reason that you are drawn to have that food of whatever it is. The one thing I do say is pay attention to where it comes from. Does it have a lot of GMOs? Does it have a lot of processing? Does it have a lot of things that will literally lower the vibration? Does it have empty calories, you could say? So be mindful about what you're eating. Be aware that your body is going through this process, and understand that every step you take is going to be amazing, and that every step you take is going to allow you to be in that higher light frequency. It's going to help this transition until you are living on earth as your crystalline energy body. Thank you for listening to me. I hope that this helps you. If it does, please consider subscribing or give it a thumbs up, whatever it is that you need to do on your social media. Alleluia.